Hi, in this video from the Java Basics video series, we will discover what classes are in Java. We are going to review the ways to declare and use classes in our program. Then we will discuss the different types of classes in Java and we will make a general overview of the class members. In our previous video variables in Java data types, we created an example of person object named Josh. For this object to be created, there must be a type, in this case person. In reality, there are billions of persons. Each one of them have concrete characteristics, but they have one thing in common: the type. They are all persons. This object named Josh is an instance of the class named person. To create an object of type person, first we create a class named person. A class is a blueprint or a template which is used to create an object. This class defines attributes and behaviors. So each object, in this case a person, will have its attributes such as name, age, gender, ethnicity, etc. But they will all be unique. And they will have certain behaviors such as walk, talk, eat, sleep, code, and others. In Java classes, these behaviors are represented as methods, and the attributes are represented as the fields of the classes. Okay, now let's create our person class. So we right-click on com.example package, go to New, Java class, and let's type person, which is the name of the class. Hit enter, and this is how the class gets generated. We see public class person, and let's declare private string name. This is the field, also called attribute of the person class. And let's declare private int age. So the person will have this attribute name and attribute age. The next thing we are going to declare in our class is called constructor. A constructor is a member of the class. It is a special type of method that is used to initialize objects. We will dive deep in the concept of constructors in our later videos. So we type public person, parentheses, and we declare two arguments: string name and int age. This means that every time we declare a new object using the new keyword, we will pass two parameters to our constructor. Inside the constructor body, we write this.name equals name and this.age equals age. This keyword is used to denote the name and age fields of the object of type person. We will see how this code works in more detail when we declare the objects in our main method of the main class. So the next thing we are going to do is to create a method. A method is a member of the class and it describes the behavior of the object. So we say public void say hello. So public is an access modifier, void is also a keyword, and we will see what public and void mean in more detail in our next videos. And then we have this name of the method, say hello. Then we've got the parentheses and the body of the method inside the curly braces. So we are just printing hello. Now when we have created the person class, let's go to our main class, and inside the main method, let's create a person object. So we type person with uppercase P, let's name it Josh, equals new person. Note that when we create this object, we have to pass the parameters which we declared as arguments of person constructor back in our person class declaration. So let's pass the value Josh, comma, and age 22, add semicolon at the end, and this object is ready to be used. Let's create another person, call it Scott, and pass the values of name and age to its constructor. And now we can print the object details using system out print line. Let's run this program, and we see the output, but we cannot see the details about name and age. We can see this package name, which is in our case com.example, and we can see @ and letters and numbers. So these are the addresses of these objects. But they are not really informative if we want to know about name and age information. For this, we should go to our person class declaration, and we need to declare a new method named toString. So there is a shortcut in IntelliJ, so we should right click and we should click on generate, and we can generate from here the method toString, and it will be added to our person class. So now when we will run our main method, instead of printing the object addresses, we will see these values of name and age for each object. So after running this main method again, we can see the person and all the details about name Josh, age 22, and the same details for Scott with the name Scott and age 25. Now let's try another thing and type person n, semicolon, and let's try to print this. So we can see that compiler complains that the variable n might not have been initialized. So this means that when we do person n and semicolon without the new keyword, there will not be an object allocated in the memory. So this has been detected by the compiler and it just gave us an error. So if we add equality sign and new person, and adding these details, we are passing the parameters of name and age for n, then we can print this object too. This is the general outline of how to create the class and how to use it in our program. In Java, we can have class inside the class. These are called nested classes. Classes can be divided into nested and top-level classes. According to Java specification, a top-level class is a class declared directly in a compilation unit. We will review what this means in our later videos. For now, we should simply know that top-level class is a class which is not a nested class. Nested classes themselves can be divided into inner classes and static classes. Inner classes are those nested classes which are not static, but they can be of three different types: member inner classes, local inner classes, and anonymous inner classes. For now, we should also mention that there are enum and record classes. Enum class is a class that defines a small set of named class instances. Record class is a class that defines a simple aggregate of values, and we will define them in more detail later. Finally, the class declaration can include different class members, which can be fields, methods, constructors, instance initializers, static initializers, member classes, even interfaces, enums, and records. This was a general outline of classes in Java. Note that we are just scratching the surface here. In the next videos, we will go deep into the concept and discover more details. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.